One, two. Friday night here in Los Angeles. Dragonfly, what is up? It's just you and I right now. And here we go. I think this is live. Smoking Scan live and direct. Got the feed going here. And he has his ways. I don't think this is an old chase, yo. Folks, how's everyone doing? There's the bud coming in at 40, 50 miles an hour. How you doing, the bud? Seen you had something going on earlier today. I missed that. I was quite busy at the shop, but I did get your notification. Were you premiering something? Let me think. No, can't think of it. But I did see that, and I'll check up on it. So many different things you premiere over on your channel. It's always something new and interesting. And good to have you here tonight. Rafael, what up? Here we go, picking up the pace, hitting 85, 90 miles an hour here. Let's see, Van Owen Street, Van Nuys. So they're out in the valley, Lake Balboa. Doesn't Jimmy Church? No. Jimmy Church, he had something to do with Balboa. He lives out towards the desert. Who else is up in here? And Joanne, right on. We're going to be hanging out tonight. We're kicking it off like this. When I was like, oh, I seen the chase. I was watching it for a bit. And I was like, let's do it. I wanted to hang out anyway. Hopefully you could hang out for a bit. If not, catches on the rebound. It looks like he's blowing intersections there as he whips around this normal citizen. Look at that. Very dangerous. And I still don't see anyone else live on the YouTube here. So luckily, big up, thanks to Smoking Scan, we're able to check this out. And we'll keep an eye on this. I did want to catch up on we didn't finish the whole Mount Shasta episode. There were still some cases we didn't touch on. There's just so many of them. And there was one in particular I wanted to update, and we'll touch on that tonight. I even wrote it down to make sure I don't forget. New Bigfoot report out of Ottawa. Yeah, Canada. We'll check that out. Uh-oh. Whoa, what happened to the feed there? Dang it. There we go. Let's see, what else do we got lined up? Some strange lights over in Sasquatch Island, Vancouver Island. Yeah, we'll try to debunk some weird lights that I was seeing on a particular live stream I've been checking out out of Vancouver Island. Yeah, this beach. Some of you may be familiar with it. I've been showing it quite a bit during the day. We've seen it at night. And there's these structures on the beach made of driftwood. So it got my attention. I've been monitoring the live stream, and last night some weird lights popped up and I took a little video. We'll check those out. And let's see. Oh yeah. I got some messages from someone earlier today responding to a particular video that possibly might be Bigfoot. We don't know. It's out of Kern County. We've talked about it several times, and I actually remixed the video. It made the circles. It was from a few years back, and maybe we'll have a look at that. And the messages, someone who lived in the area and knows the area responded today, and that's always good to get feedback like that. And we'll go through maybe some of the messages, she put them out there. So yeah. And so it makes me Yeah, think about that particular video. We'll check it out. Maybe some of you are familiar with it, maybe not. And looks like we're getting into some residential areas here. Watch out. Probably blowing stop signs and everything. Let's see, Encino Avenue, Lake Balboa area. So watch out. Heads up if you're in the area out in the valley there. How was everyone's Friday today? It was a good one at the shop. I couldn't complain. And luckily I didn't speak too early. But yeah, no, it started off really good with that, like a grand slam, I call it, as far as business, which is great. It's always good to start off a day like that. I wasn't even finished unloading my stuff, getting to the shop, and had a customer come in and yeah, he was ready to gear up. So he did quite a bit of shopping, some clothing shopping, and I could have shut the shop down and gone home right after that. So big blessing there. And there's Chiro sounds. Chi, do you know if this chase is on any other feed besides Fox, Sky Fox there? That's not uh that's not on YouTube. So I'm sure Damon is getting the feed maybe off of maybe he has one of those little boxes that we have. I know you have one of those what do they call it? The black box or the little box that gives you all the channels and stuff. I still haven't set ours up for the shop, but we do have one of those, the same one you and Garrel have. What's up, Gustavo? Diesel was popping, bro. We got a little chase jumping off. It's getting dangerous. Hitting some high speeds there, blowing red signs and stop signs. Typical Friday here in SoCal. And there goes the feed again. Come on, Chopper. Get us back on. Yeah. What else? Da, 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 happened today. It was a busy one. It was just nonstop Friday. Highlights. Well, that was the highlight actually. That morning part. I was like, oh man, yes. Made my day, and it just continued on. You know, business was good. No complaints. And anyone familiar with this area, the Valley? We talk about the movie 3 Days in the Valley. Anyone seen that? Oh, they stopped here. Heads up. Lights off. He's getting off and he's running. Pull the pants up. Oh, yeah, we've seen this. This is a replay. Damn it. Is it? No. I don't know. We've seen this before. Big guy pulling pants up. Yeah, he goes in the smoke shop. Yeah, he's doing he does these replays sometimes. Yeah, whatever. All right, smoking scan. I guess nothing's popping off yet. He got us excited. He got me going, so we're up and running. Let's go ahead and get into it then. Let's see. Boom. This was a fun one though. You guys remember this one? Gals? Yeah, he does that sometimes. He'll get me, you know, there'll be a chase on. And I'm surprised there hasn't been a chase tonight or today. There probably has, but just wasn't streamed by anyone. Bakersfield stringers are out, and Sacramento. Those guys are always popping. It seems like it'd be the other way around with LA having more of these guys out there streaming and stringing because there's just more crime and all that out here. But no, these guys they're a lot more of them out in Bakersfield and then the Sacramento guys are active throughout the week too. Los Angeles stringers, these guys pretty much wait till maybe Thursday. Sometimes they'll go, you know, I'll give you a random day depending on what's happening or what's going on. But usually Thursday, Friday, they wait till the weekend and they'll push it till Sundays. And a lot of times Sundays will be slow. It just all depends. But what summer is summer here yet? I thought summer I thought it got here a while ago. Is summer around? Is she around? When is it? Whoa, salute Testerman. We got the all aboard. Testerman's here. The train is here. Grab your tickets, folks. Your pets. Don't forget your luggage. Sweetly morbid bear. What's up? You got the notification right on. We're gonna chill out a little bit tonight. Thought we had a fresh speed chase there, but no, we're doing a throwback. And let's see, maybe today is like the calm before tomorrow's possible storm. I heard talks of and that was a funny message there, Testerman, when I shared out the ice agents. So I heard it was they were saying possible ice agents at first. That was the thumbnail or the title on Fox's stream there of the incident recently over at Dodger Stadium where they had I heard after it was what is it? California Border Patrol. And so all these different agencies claiming different they were dressed and had their faces covered and stuff so you couldn't tell. And that's the thing too that's been being brought up is you can't tell who these people are. They're not showing I guess identification and stuff like that. So it gets a little sketchy. And tomorrow, I hear 2 p.m. is going to be a protest at Dodger Stadium, and yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I thought about it, but I'm like, nope, gotta go to the shop, open up shop, and get to work. Hopefully, I would. That's all, folks. Hopefully, I have another day like today. Cha-ching. Um, yeah, so heads up. I'm sure someone will be out there streaming AXN News. He'll probably be jumping on here live in a little bit. And maybe things will pick up tonight. We'll see. Hopefully everyone's safe and having a good night. And who's this up in here? Let's see. And Testerman and Nighthawk. I was lurking on the last little bit. I jumped in like an hour late on the show there. Right about when y'all were talking about the spirit animals, and Brother Nighthawk was explaining how, yeah, you were explaining all the wildlife on your land and everything, and how I felt like you were saying you're connected to mainly all of it because you see it all the time, and that's super cool. I feel you on that. And then, but he was saying that I guess you have to have more of a connection, with these particular types of animals. Of course, being in the city, I was this what's its powers and stuff. What's its powers? I was buffering there, huh? The city pigeon. And then I was also like, you know what? I'm probably a Bigfoot spirit animal. Just kidding. Gotta put the JK. Don't want to piss folks off out there. Roger. Cheers, brother. Hopefully you're having a good start to the weekend there. Juliana McGill, thank you so much. Is Brother Nighthawk up in here? Ha ha ha. Salute to you, brother. Um Juliana shared Sasquatch Sunset, the movie. Super cool movie. And shout out to the homie Rowdy Kelly. Yeah, he had something to do with that movie. And hopefully we'll be seeing Rowdy soon. Yes, Rowdy Kelly, part of the Bluff Creek Project. And he scouts for, movies and commercials and stuff up in Humboldt County mainly. And he was involved with that somehow. and Juliana shared. And feel free to share that link here, Juliana, if no one's seen Sasquatch Sunset. It's one of the latest Bigfoot movies. Came out what, last year sometime. We featured the trailer here on one of the streams, and it's a little extreme. So heads up, not for the kids. Uh, Maybe for the kids older than what's the age limit now? What would be the age limit on that, Juliana? Like 21 and over. Gotta put those emojis uh with the eye peeking out. But yeah, super interesting, and I dug it. You know, I don't know why I waited so long. I'm like that with movies these days. It's kind of hard to sit me down and watch a movie, even a Bigfoot movie. I'm like that, behind on things, last to know everything and anything. And but it finally watched it thanks to Juliana, and it's I recommend it. Definitely recommend. I actually texted to the Garrel after I was like almost done watching it, and and I didn't realize how late it was for Garrel. It was probably about to be 2 a.m. And but like I think luckily he was up, and I don't think I pissed him off too much. So just a heads up, Chi. Yeah, so peep the movie out, y'all. It's a good one if you want to have a laugh. And there were some sad moments too. I was like, oh no. Yeah, the dwarf was touched. Oh, what? Last night my little buddy heard something outside his tent. So he's in my tent tonight listening. Yeah, we're not watching Sasquatch Sunset. Oh, right on. So yeah, Juliana's, I think, and it's okay. It might be okay to say they're out camping somewhere. Let's say having fun, and we won't say where, but they're in Bigfoot country for sure. So interesting that he heard a little something outside of the tent there, and yeah, enjoy yourselves, be safe, of course, and yeah, have some fun. Can't wait to be doing that. And yeah, we'll be doing that in your area. Yeah, invite me to your area. Come, let me come camp on your land or something. You put me to work. Tonight's show was about the bloodlines tied back to did you mean Enki and the Anunnaki? What up, Woo Riders? DG up in this piece. Bless up. Yeah, solstice. So with the solstice happening, heads up, we were giving the heads up when the what was it, the strawberry full moon, Friday the 13th, and we all this stuff started going on. So with the solstice happening, a heads up there. And the Bohemian Boys, don't they, get together? They're gonna be getting it together, I think, here soon. And it's interesting because I always keep that in mind. A lot of times, when I used to drive up north from down here, I was aware of what was going on. When I became aware of the grove there in Sonoma County, yeah, we'd pass by Sonoma County, Sonoma, Mendocino, and then Humboldt County. So the grove is in Sonoma. And we've partied near that grove. Had a nice Airbnb for the Queen's friend, best friend, bestie, and got a Airbnb there, very close, Russian River. Yeah, that's the river Alex Jones made his way across. And there's actually some some youngsters in the field. Check out Dancer's channel on YouTube. Anyone know Dancer? Yeah, Dancer recently has infiltrated the Grove, and I think those videos still should be on his channel. Yeah, they went up to the owl and everything and went inside the owl. Yeah, or there's a stump or something, or you could go behind the owl and go in, and they went inside that and went around the property. Did it several times, and they went back and did it again. Brought some buddies of theirs, but he does all types of other hardcore stuff. I mean, flying his drone on top of metal bridges while he sits up there. All types of urbexing, hardcore urbexing, train hopping, going from state to state, and yeah, just hardcore stuff. So yeah, that Grove comes up. How did we get into the Grove? Fair time, yeah. Nothing like some good old country fair time. I'll let you cut my grass, no problem. All right. Does that mean like what kind of grass cutting we talking about there? Not the greatest trimmer. Nope. Better off doing field work. Yeah, sweetly morbid bear. Rest up, stay safe. It's gonna be a wild weekend here in SoCal. So you take the proper precautions and then heads up with, everything else going on. Just that I just see a lot of red flags right now. But yeah, no, no. We keep on living how you living, and hopefully you're living good. But just a heads up. So just, maybe extra water, all the extra little things we should have just in case of something. Yeah, so let's see here. Doo-doo-doo. What are we gonna get into? Yeah, let's get into that case update. Let's see if we could find that. So we were on a Mount Shasta trip, Siskiyou County, where Mount Shasta is. And let's see if we could do this. All right. Try and pull up a little map. And we'll see if we could find the case with the update. I think we covered what, maybe 3, 4 cases yesterday. Some were pretty brief. Some had some news reels to them. So check that out if you're interested in stuff like that. I think it was it yesterday? Did I stream yesterday? I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe the day before, but one of the latest streams. There you can see Mount Shasta right there, that uh white cap there. Some of the surrounding towns. There's Weed, California. And yeah, I'm sure you could find some weed and weed. But anyway, they got one of the best views of Mount Shasta at their we have these grocery outlets. Anyone shop at Gross Out? Yeah, that's what we call it, Gross Out. Yeah, good place to get some, good deals on good food. They have some organic selections and stuff, and yeah, I do hit it up. So yeah, I was at the Gross Out in Weed and had this epic view. There's this epic view of the mountain there. I've gotten video, and I would have never thought. So grocery outlet having one of the best views. That particular one in Weed having one of the best views ever. And what else? We mentioned McLeod there. There's Dunsmuir. Dunsmuir is very interesting. It comes up. There's been some in the old world topic, Tartaria and stuff. The trains come up a whole lot, and there's this whole uh things with trains in Dunsmuir, old trains. They call it the skunk train too. I don't know. I know over on the coast they have that skunk rail up in Willits. Um, but yeah, these trains, they were finding mud flooded buildings and all the typical old world stuff that people talk about in the town of Dunsmuir there, which made me think about Castle Crags. Anyone know about Castle Crags? Right near Shasta also. Some interesting rock formations. And it made me think, oh yeah, could it be possibly it was a castle and then something zapped it. And that's why it looks all the way it does now. But who knows? Probably not. But yeah, some high strangeness there as well, just like Mount Shasta. It's just across the road there, Highway 5. And that whole surrounding area, just a lot of high strangeness. And off to the left, Yeah, we're talking about Happy Camp came up a bit. And then you have the Six Rivers National Forest, Bluff Creek. Yeah, we're Patty. Yeah, I know Patty. Where's Patty? There she is. Oh, Patty. Yeah, where Patty was filmed. So that's how that whole area up there, Trinity, Humboldt, all these different counties I keep bringing up, and I'll continue to just because of the high strangeness. And let's see. So there was this case of darn. I hope I could still pull it up. I hope I still have it up here. I should. Yeah. Let's see here. It was these two. It was family members. It was a mother and daughter, I believe, and they were out of Chico, California. And Chico's been coming up quite a bit too. Hopefully, Amanda pops in here. And they had left Chico area, and I guess we're headed to the Mount Shasta area, and somehow went missing for several months. No one had heard anything. And recently there was an update on that case. And I don't think I featured it yesterday or the on the last stream. We did about an hour, and I was like, you know what? And I was at the shop, so on duty. And I was like, let's save it for maybe a part two on this. Let's see if it pops up here on this one. I got this article here. Music's bumping in the background. Yeah, there's, the fam upstairs probably celebrating that summer's here. So this one does have an article, and it's from that series called Vanished. I'm going to take a look here to see if I see that case. And if not, I'll try to type it up and pull it up. Now, we went through this. We'll pop back over here also. So, give me one moment. And kick back, roll them up, do what you got to do as I navigate here and figure this out. We'll get to it. Trust me. Somehow. All right. Let's see. Siskiyou unsolved. All right. Here we go. Yes. I'm starting to freak out a little bit. I was like, uh-oh. I don't think I did. I think I might have took it off the tabs here, but here it is. SF Gate. Breakthrough made in disappearance of California mother and daughter. And this was covered by, I believe, Steve Stockton and a lot of the missing, I think, Politis and a lot of the missing persons channels, the strange missing persons channels. And we'll have a little read here. All right. So it says Vivian Luna's car was found in a remote area near Mount Shasta in March 2025. A breakthrough has been made in the strange disappearance of a mother and daughter in Northern California. 9 months after they were last seen, authorities have now reported that a vehicle and human remains were found in a remote part of Shasta County. So, Shasta County is next to Siskiyou County. And I was explaining that how Mount Shasta is in Siskiyou County and not in Shasta County. Just a heads up. And it says on July 21st, 2024, Dolores Sakamoto, 84, and her daughter Vivian Luna, 64, were reported missing by a neighbor on East Avenue in Chico after the pair had or did not return from church. Sorry about that. The pastor of Calvary Chapel, Chico, later told reporters that Luna and Sakamoto never made it to church that Sunday. A silver alert. The silver alert is for seniors, I believe, right? I don't know what age uh would make it a silver alert, but I have gotten those alerts before. A silver alert for Luna and her black 1996 Lexus was subsequently issued by the California Highway Patrol. A Butte County Sheriff's Office investigation found that Luna and Sakamoto left their residence on July 21st and later pulled cash out of an ATM in Susanville, over 2 hours away in Lassen County. The last trace of the pair came from a cell phone tower ping near the Mount Shasta Ski Park, another 2 hours northwest of Susanville. But a multiple agency search effort was unable to locate Luna, Sakamoto, or their vehicle. And Dolores Sakamoto left, and Vivian Luna, right there, went missing from Chico on July 21st, 2024. It's now been revealed that Luna's black Lexus was discovered about 2 months ago on March 24th. The car was found in a remote area of dirt roads in northern Shasta County, about 20 miles east of the McLeod Bridge. And we've been talking about McLeod, so here it comes up again. A member of the public found the car and reported it to authorities, and it was later located by CHP. Human remains were found at the scene near the vehicle. Butte County Sheriff's Office spokesman Megan McCann told SF Gate on Thursday those remains have not yet been positively identified as of the missing mother and daughter. The Lexus did not appear to have been in an accident, McCann said, but may have had a mechanical issue. Hmm. And it says the reason for Luna and Sakamoto's unexpected and tragic journey to north from Chico that Sunday baffled neighbors and family members. Everything was timed and they had a schedule, you know. This isn't, says this isn't, she wouldn't do this. Luna's daughter, Kristen Hart, who suspected that another person was involved in the disappearance, told KRCR TV at the time, you know, my grandmother's got dementia. You don't take a 84-year-old woman with dementia on a 3-week long trip. That's not something that we would do. Hmm. The Shasta County Sheriff's Office coroner is investigating the cause of death and working on identifying the remains. Human remains were found at the scene near the vehicle. And at this time, Shasta County Coroner's Office is awaiting positive identification as to if they belong to one of both of the missing persons, spokesman spokesperson, Tim Mapes of SF Gate on Thursday. So, update on that case there. And yeah, Trip is ringing that McLeod bell again. I think I touched on one or two on McLeod yesterday, some out of Happy Camp. Yeah, who knows? There's been some strange ones even out here. This reminds me of another one here in Southern California of a lady out of Hemet because there's a whole series. Steve Stockton again covered this one. It was near what is it? What was it? Some of the mountain areas here in Southern California, and I forget the name of the particular towns there, but there was like this whole series of a bunch of people going missing. Some of it might have been criminal, uh, but some were kind of strange, like an older lady. It reminds me, she looked very much like these ladies, also looked very similar to them. But she was found in the Hemet area up in the mountains, and her car was like stuck on there was a rock. She was going down this dirt road, mountain road, and a rock basically got her stuck there. And I don't know, I don't remember if they found her or not, but it was just like, why did she drive? There was no reason for her to drive out there. And just really strange. What's up, Jeff? And good evening, Firewater. Good to have you in here. We're out here just hanging out a bit, touching on some Shasta cases, missing persons, some updates. And let's see, we're going to talk a little Bigfoot here in a bit too. Let's see. So yeah, I got a little update on the. Let's see. Could we pull this up? How could I pull it up? Maybe if I go here. There's these messages that I got from a video that was making the rounds a few years back out of Kern County, California. Let's see, maybe if I go here. All right, AXN News is live now. I see. Here we go. All right, so here's the video. Cool. We'll do this. So we'll check out this video. It's out of Kern County, California, which is Southern California. And yeah, really compared to Northern California, we don't get that many Bigfoot reports and sightings, and it's a whole other level once you get up north or into the Sierras. But there's this theory that's been brought up by several, uh, I guess, people that are looking into this or make documentaries and stuff like that, that there's possibly at the southern tip of the Sierras that Bigfoots from the Sierras might be hopping over the 5 freeway and coming around the, like the Gorman Fraser Park area. And I've had heard more reports from people like online and mentioning this the area of Gorman, and we passed by Gorman on our way up north. And one of the last times we were last year headed up north, we stopped, and there's these gas stations and your McDonald's and all that. And Gorman was burning at the time we stopped. There's a souvenir store with a big old white Bigfoot cutout, and I'm like, "Oh, why do you guys have a big old Bigfoot cutout here?" Got my interest, but yeah, I could see that happening there. Maybe they are running across because across on the other side is an area we've gone to where Tate Hieronymus got his thermal footage, and that's at the Los Padres National Forest, Sespe Wilderness. And so interesting that he's got that as a spot to go to and has possibly gotten stuff on thermal. And we've been out there several times. It's a good area, very near Castaic Lake as well. So yeah, you got your mountains, water sources, and stuff like that, and other high strangeness, of course. But yeah, so this video ended up popping up, And I don't know how far exactly, but maybe we could figure it out now with some of the new details um, from these messages I got today. So let's check out the video. And in the video, watch some interesting things. Let's see here. There you are. So a heads up. I guess we'll see if we could play it a few times. It's someone recording on the highway, and I could help you out here. Look at that. Subject's going to be right there on that particular ridge going by. Looks like a just all black. And if you notice, it's actually walking. You'll see some power lines. You know, they talk about power lines and Bigfoot, some sort of connection there. Maybe they like walking those areas that have it's almost like a highway. You know, they clear a lot of the trees and stuff like that. Or maybe there's something to do with the energy of the power lines. I don't know. And so I got a message from this video clip. Let's see. I didn't see the part with the power lines. It's weird. Hmm. Anyway, I remixed it so you should be look, if you go over to you could see who I got the video from, and I believe that's the original person that posted the video there. So at Amber Blevins 64. So you could click and go to her channel and the full video should be there. Again, this is just a remix. And so someone responded today with some messages. So let's check out some of these messages. Let's see if we could pull that up. Here we go. Look, there's a message from Sweetly Morbid Bear, who went to bed earlier 2 years ago. And she's got something to say there for sure. So let's see. Can you see this on your end? Oh, yeah, cool. So you could see here the first message. So it's Mountain Girl Gaming. And you can see 4 hours ago there. And she says, I know where that is. There is slash was a strange building that was on that side of the river when I lived in the Kern River Valley. Never learned the reason for it being there, as there is no crossing and such. And so sent some responses back, some messages back. And let's see there. I said, oh, trip out. Could you share the location with me? I could send you an email and I'm easy to reach. And then she responds back. It is right before the Live Oak picnic area, right around the bend from Lower Rich Bar. So I've been meaning to pull that up with the old Googler, with the man, maybe having a peek. But I did briefly pull it up on the maps, and I seen that Lake Isabella pops up because she mentioned some other areas she was living in. And if so, So there's a lake around, which is interesting. But she also mentioned that, let's see, it could be an old. So she's talking about the structure again. It could be an old shack from the mining days, but I remember there being a new tarp and all. Could be homeless that found the crossing. Still very strange. And so we've brought that up also in our thermal footage of it being possibly like a homeless person or something like that. That's always a possibility, but you never know. You never know. Let's see here. There's a ton of stuff up there that is just weird. Yeah, like a lot of places in California and everywhere else, right? We all got our strange every to me, yeah, there's so much strangeness everywhere. It's incredible. But I'm just doing that. Make sure you could see there, and I'll continue reading a bit. Let's see. There's a ton of stuff up there that is just weird. I know of a lot of witchcraft. Yep. And all when growing up in that area. I grew up in the Wolford Heights area. And that's the area near Lake Isabella. And I have a Lake Isabella story. I remember going camping there as a youth, and I ended up getting a stiff neck. We were family and friends and stuff, and I ended up getting a stiff neck. Darn. Yeah, I wonder what that was all about. Kind of bummed out my camping experience for that time, but I'll never forget. But I was having fun. Lake Isabella. Bring us bring us some Lake Isabella stories, folks. Some high strangeness from there. So it goes on here. There's a ton of okay. I grew up in the Wolford Heights area for 13 years, and the KRV for 19 total. I heard weird things and saw weird things, especially at night. And I said, yeah, very interesting. I'll be mentioning this in a live stream tonight. Da 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 da. So here we are. Hopefully, we don't scare her off. And let's see, just making sure covered some of the most of the responses there, I believe. And so, yeah, some update on that Kern County Bigfoot situation there, or possible Bigfoot. I don't know. Shasta has Sasquatch, ghost UFOs. It's a power nexus, says Chris Jarvis. 100. Pyromedic, what's up, brother? Late. Yeah, that could be perception. We could give you standards and you get what is it? Detention. Whoa. I just zoomed in there. Don't want to do that. The battle, what's up? Who else is hopped in the stream here? And so let's see. So that's a update on the Kern County situation there. You know, if you like checking out Bigfoot videos, pull that video up. Go to the link like I showed to the original channel and have a view, you know, break it down for us. See if you see any other anomalies. I thought we noticed some weird flashing stuff there, and maybe the you'll be able to check out the power line and see maybe if you could notice anything else. You never know. Um, more eyes are better than two sometimes. The All right, so one of the live streams we've been checking out is that of Vancouver Island, Sasquatch Island. Oh yeah, and we'll pull up several cameras tonight. Hopefully, if we keep flowing right here. But let's get into this particular uh stream. There it is. Look at that. Is the sun? No, it's got to be dark out there now. There we go. Yeah, the sun, it's amazing to see how long the sun stays out up north. And here we are, Vancouver, on Vancouver Island somewhere. I think it's Orford, is it? All the data is right there at the bottom left, which is awesome. It tells you the weather, the time, and off to the right there, I noticed that there's a lighthouse, correct? And you could see the rhythm of the light. So every so often, it what is the rhythm of lighthouses? Is there like a set rhythm that it? There you go. You see it somewhere out there. And anyway, I haven't noticed anything else. This is like it's a resort, some sort of resort with a lot of driftwood material, which is awesome because in these areas you tend to find these structures, and these structures are very similar to the forest structures that people find, in Bigfoot areas or in areas where we would imagine Bigfoot to be. And so there's a whole phenomenon with the stick structures, correct? So, yeah, I followed them a lot in my area, found them on the beaches too, Humboldt County. And yeah, noticed that in some of these areas where I was finding these things, there was a history of reports. So trip out on that. But yeah, you can have people. I've had people mention that they've built stuff and stuff like that. But a lot of time we found people inside of structures before, and a lot of times it's hard to find who builds them. And so we've been watching this beach here, and I'm like, it's perfect. Vancouver Island, Sasquatch Island is what they call it. And here we got a live feed, and so I've checked it out during the day. It gets a lot of traffic. There's a couple trails here. You'll see people hang out on the edges. I didn't see any. Seen some people hanging out in some areas where there was some driftwood, but I didn't notice anyone building anything. I usually don't. And there are several creations here, I guess if you want to call them. One's right here, right along the little berm or hillside here, and yeah, you could totally go in it, hide out, hang out, whatever. And there's these other creations also, some that are further out. You can't see too well. Obviously, it's dark, but during the day, there's a better visual of this area. So I've been watching it. And again, a lot of traffic here during the day. And at night, usually I haven't noticed anyone. But off to the left over here, last night, and I think right now I'm starting to notice a little bit of light. I started noticing some lights over here. I figured maybe it was someone, and I have seen someone walk out pretty late, maybe 1 in the morning. They were walking their dog. They had a flashlight, and it was totally obvious it was a person with their dog. But last night there was these lights popping up around the left part of the screen there, and it was a trip because I couldn't debunk it. And yeah, right now I'm starting to see a little bit of flashing there. So keep an eye on that left area. See that little light popping up there, and I could actually zoom in on that area and let's see. Come on, zoom for us. Maybe not. Oh well. Yeah, just keep an eye out on that area there. But I'm gonna pull up some footage that I took with my phone last night because it just got really intense. I wanted to go live. It was like maybe 1 in the morning, almost 12ish, 1ish. And I'm like, man, we gotta check this out, get it on the record here. And any other data that you might want is all right there in the little square. So I'm like, cool. So we'll watch this here for a bit. And I do see some other light. Looks like and I seen that last night too, but these other little look like perfect little spheres, balls of light, orby like. Yeah. And I was like, and most of it concentrated over here. But then eventually I did see one where the structures are in this area here. And I was like, whoa, is that someone just hanging? No, it was nobody out there. And these lights were lighting up. Anyway, the one that lit up in the structures there, I wasn't able to capture. That's when I started recording. I should have started recording before that, but I'm sure it'll probably happen again. So we'll try and capture that. But I did get the activity over on the left area, and we'll pull some of that video up here in a moment. Let's go ahead and stop that. And don't mind the music upstairs. It's just the kids and everyone hanging out. I don't know what they're up to tonight, but they're blasting music at the moment. It's not going to stop us here. All right. Let's see if we could pull some of this video up that I'm talking about. And maybe some of you could debunk it. You know, I'm not saying they are orbs. Uh, let's see here. We're going to have to do a little troubleshooting. Ah, I see. Okay. 1 second. I'm going to shrink myself really quick. You probably can't tell. And there's that. And there we are. Now we could do this. Voila. Let's see. Like that. And then let's do this. So we're going to hit play over here. Nope. Oh, did that work? Yeah, cool. So there we go. And check out this area around here. And we'll get footage during the day too. So, but there's one of them, and there's another one over here. There is going to be some reflection because I was using my phone against the laptop screen, and then I had the some lights on here, so I should have turned the lights off, but I don't think it affected. See, look at that. Some flashing there. And there seems to be multiple subjects. Now, is it in the water? I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you think in the chat. And I'll go ahead and pull up another clip here. So that was, let's see. All right, here goes a little more action, I guess. And there's no boats or anything that I've noticed during the day. There's just that the lighthouse that's off to the right. And so let's see if we could pull up these other clips here. Boom, stop sharing. All right, got one in there. Could we get the rest? Okay. Yes, we could if we go like this. All right, got it. Here we go. This is another clip. Any thoughts? Any ideas? That flashing's got me really interested. I mean, it reminds me of when I see orbs and it seems to be at ground level to me, just because of when I think of it during the daytime, and I don't see any signs of people again. USOs. I think most UFOs, like real UFOs, are USOs, meaning they have the ability to go into water. And they're probably coming from in the ocean anyway. They have us looking up there like, yeah, they're coming from up there. Look up there. And really, they're coming from right here. What you think? That's how they always do us. Look that way. Psych. Look at that perfect ball there. And even a third one pops up. I think up to three, four of them had popped up, turned on, and there was movement. They move around there. Look, you can see. I could see a third one there, almost like it's split. The water is ungodly, says the battle. And so I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting that you got these stick structures on the beach here. Vancouver Island, very well known for Sasquatch activity. And I don't know, could these be orbs? In my mind, I think so. That's why I record. Yeah, very weird, right? And Joanne, we could check out another little clip here that I got recorded as well. And we'll do that like this. Let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta go over here. All right, not too bad. Let's see. Boom, boom. Got it. All right. Boom. So here's another clip. And there I see two at the moment. Right there. So this was going on for quite a while. And I was just keeping an eye out for any other weirdness around, anything behind a bush there. And there is some little trails that lead to one of the right around this area there. There's a nice hut structure, and there is a trail that leads right to it. And there's a bunch of other little things starting to form. They're slowly changing. Maybe people are adding stuff, or whoever, someone's coming down and adding things to it. And I don't know. I just super curious now. Keeping an eye on this stream here. And how rad would it be if something weird would have pop up? Sasquatch sighting. That beach teepee spot, when using the Spirit Talker app, it said protected by God. Wow. That is powerful, D. Beware of deception these days. It is a violation of universal law for any being to interfere with humanity. Ha. All right. So let's see. I could give you the name of this stream here. Hopefully you found that interesting. Let's see. That is over at. All right. Let's stop here. Boom. One second. We're going to pull up the channel here. and I actually found a channel streaming near Donner Pass up in the Sierras. Anyone know about the Donner Pass story? Joe Monk was in here. He'd tell us. Yeah, something about like cat people eating each other, getting stuck in the snow. There's a train that goes through there as well, and the train's popping up again. I'm questioning all railroads, trains. Like Diesel was saying, he found a spot where trains led to the water, I believe, recently. And so this is a channel here. Let's see, boom. Pacific Sands HD Beach Cam, Pacific Sands Beach Resort. So it's a resort. And yeah, there's a little volley net set up there. And so you would think, yeah, people would come and build stuff. You know, people build sand castles and get creative and all that. But yeah, I haven't noticed anyone really in action. And yeah, I'm gonna be keeping an eye out tonight also for those lights again and anything else. Let's see, and I forget the name of the resort. It's something Orford or just Orford. Hillbilly Herb. Sometimes he pops in the chat here. A good friend of ours on the YouTube streets has been here actually. And here comes the train again. In case you missed it, yeah, it's never too late, folks. All aboard. And Diesel there was saying, I was thinking the other day, the Mandela effect and how we know celebs have died, but they're still alive. Maybe the Jesus story was a Mandela effect back then. Like I knew he was dead, but he rose again. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Interesting. What up, Saliman? What's he feeling? He says, I feel our controllers use the term it's a violation to help us from those who are enslaving us, you know? It's the same as beware of the new world order, even though it's the old world order enslaving us. Good vibes. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, much love to you, Sal. That too. Even yeah, even down to so we'll touch on this really quick. Anyone heard of Caesar Borgia? That's who I heard that the blue-eyed, you know, that Jesus is is like, yeah, that they're depicting that man. And if you get into who that man was, it's very interesting. Caesar Borgia. And is that who really that they're, you know, putting the face of all over the place and saying that's Jesus? Hmm. Yeah, I've questioned that for a long time. Yeah. You talking wrestling there, Diesel? Scott Hall comes to mind. R.I.P. All right, so let's pop this open a little bit more. Let's see if we spot anything else tonight. This is live. Let's see. Are we on? We are on. Let's bump that up. So yeah, we started to see a little sparkly action earlier, and this is the live feed again. So heads up. Yeah, you see, I see some light over here. Something's lighting up, like someone's having maybe, and I was thinking maybe like a bonfire late night. Would the resort allow that? Looks like a fire there. Or maybe it's a bunch of orbs congregating and lighting stuff up. And I have been watching the rhythm of the lighthouse and seeing if that's affecting any of the light here, which I don't think. So I don't know. Boom. Oh, we're getting biblical up in here. Um, you ever wonder what the blank pages at the end? No, I shouldn't say that. People might get really offended on that one. I was good. I was asking Sal a question. Blank papers at the end. I've seen people use those for you know what, and it's like, hey, dude, whatever. I'm sure that it's allowed. It's not only for notes. Yeah, the burning bush comes up. Ooh, wow. I got to tell some of my friends named Jesus. See if they're aware of that one. All right, some other. Let's see. Sasquatch Island orbs. All right, possibly orbs. Covered that. And I'm telling you, the cases in Mount Shasta, I'll have to line those up again. I'm glad I was able to touch on that update. Let's have another little scan around. See what AXN is up to. He's cruising around LA right now. Yeah, it could be a calm weekend before tomorrow. You know, this could be the calm before tomorrow. It's what I'm sensing. I did find another feed actually that's close to home up in Oregon. Actually, this is out of Medford. Yeah, there's a live stream out of Medford. Let's check it out. Cool. And I'll be able to slide right over to this one. Thank you. Look at that there. We're checking out Jackson County, Oregon. And we talked about the fires, Upper Applegate fire. Haven't heard any updates on that. And I still haven't heard from the Queen. Kind of weird. Girl, if you see this, hit me up. Let me know what's going on up there. And so yeah, when the dwarf is up that way, this is some of the areas he's in. Actually, not Medford a whole. I'm more in the outskirts, but that's our main town there, I guess you could say, our bigger town. It's like our Eureka in Humboldt. What's your big town? Y'all got a big town you go to, or are you in your big town already? Yo, Sal, I was out your way recently. I should have stopped, man. I should have hit you up. I was actually out in Fontana earlier this week doing some stuff to my truck as we just passed 11:11. It's 11:12 out here now. But I'll say it for you for all my angel number folk. 11:11. Yo, I got to swing by your place, Sal. I need to go take some lessons from you and sit there and learn. Sal's got a lot to teach. Yo, Sal, any new posts? What's going on? I haven't heard much from you on the YouTube front. Here's the this is the Donner Pass. We're talking about that cannibal incident, and you know, Joe Monk talks about all the strange activity on his property. He's up this way, Grass Valley, um, Donner Pass. This is the Sierras up here. And actually there's some roads. And you'll see a little traffic, but there's train tracks that go through here. So every once in a while the train will go through. And just like the power lines, I think there's something with Sasquatch, Bigfoot being around train tracks and stuff like that. As well as other strange things, other cryptids, you name it. Hobos, strange hobos, graffiti writers, other beings to watch out for there. uh and I seen a really cool tag the other day, and I won't get into it because it's a little nasty. But I love some of the hobo graffiti. That's a cool little genre of street art there, and of course, the amazing pieces that run on those trains. It's a good way to get your name known from state to state. Oh wow, you see that? And yeah, that's why we need to connect, brother. Definitely. We could talk succulents and other things. And I mentioned I have an area. It's just gonna take some work. To you, yeah, set things up, work on some projects, and it's a good area. And it's a good area for sky watching. Also, I know there's actually it's near the getting into the Sierras up that way, passing that Kern County we're just checking out right now, and I think those the cacti and yeah, it's that right in their habitat, you know. So yeah, we got to get that going, and I got you in mind, and hopefully we could talk about that further. It'd be cool to have that over some mud coffee or something. Got to set that up, Sal. What else is popping here? Let's see. So Donner Pass and yeah, we're checking out these live streams just for any of their high strangeness. We have caught things. Let's see, where else can we slide over to like boom. Yes, we could. All right, but that's going on. Let's see. Hi Sarah Cam. You playing? Yes. Uh-oh. Let's do this. There we go. All right, we're up in Yosemite now. Yeah, man. Data go. Data guan. Yeah, you see these weird little things will pop up here, and they'll just like pop up at the screen. Look at this little blinker up here, could be a star, but keep an eye out on that. Like there's these things that'll pop up here, like that right there, and they just seem strange. They're not like a bug zipping around. Bzz. Sometimes you'll see them zip around, but they'll have strange shapes to them, and yeah, we got to monitor this. I'm using the extra eyes right now. See that little bloop? What was that? Of course, the Sierras. Something about the Sierras. Do you think the Sierra sounds? I don't know. Could we capture that again? Could that be duplicated? People say they hear, very similar stuff. But has anyone heard anything similar to the Sierra sounds? I know people are starting to question that a lot more these days. And they probably had when even when they first came out with the sounds, I'm sure there was nothing like it. But now that people are getting out there and doing audio a whole lot, um, can't wait to that the chinchilla there. Can't wait to get this audio recorder out there and start putting it to work. I'm collecting SD cards, high capacity SD cards. Got to start collecting those. Diesel, do you go through SD cards like crazy? I would imagine. There's some zippers going by there. Is that the skyfish? Let's see. If you ask Google AI, they say Yosemite is more likely to erupt than the water volcano by Oregon and Washington. That's interesting. What else did they say? They've been talking about St. Helens as of late. What else did they mention? There was some interesting news out of Oregon. Let's check that out. Crater Lake popped up. Let's check out Crater Lake's news. We need to help. Well, I guess they need to figure something out, but I don't know. I'd go work. I'd go put in work at Crater Lake. Y'all seeing my history here. All right, heads up. We got news out of Oregon. And our place in Oregon is not far from Crater Lake. So, like this is one of our national parks, of course. And I love bringing it up, love talking about it. And hopefully more people will go there. Seems like they need the help. Watch, check this out. I was like, what? Are you serious? How could this be?
Crater Lake is a world-renowned tourism spot and brings in billions of dollars to Southern Oregon. But with the recent resignation of Superintendent Kevin Heatley, it leaves many wondering if the national park is in a healthy state.
Crater Lake's former superintendent, Kevin Heatley.
So check this out. And it's amazing. That thing looks like a fake backdrop or something. That's how it looks, for real when you go there.
Said in his resignation letter that Crater Lake has unsustainable staffing levels and severe operational strain. I went to Crater Lake myself and spoke to an employee off camera. He said the national park is hiring to improve staffing shortfalls and said that he hasn't seen
anybody looking for work in the Crater Lake area. They hiring.
Any negative impacts as a worker. But that's not stopping Oregon Congresswoman Maxine Dexter from demanding protection for the national park. This week, Dexter secured a commitment from the Interior Secretary for a briefing on Crater Lake's staffing crisis, saying Crater Lake is facing a staffing crisis that threatens the park's future and the economic prosperity of surrounding gateway communities. I'm using every tool.
They trying to take Crater Lake from us? What's going on here, folks?
At my disposal to ensure Oregonians receive answers, accountability, and the investment Crater Lake deserves. Dexter said that she wants to see the park remain an affordable camping destination for Oregon families. National budget cuts and change in leadership here at Crater Lake National Park make it seem like it might be doom and gloom, but I can assure you that tourism is not going down.
I think that I think it's going to be a great year for national parks.
I think defunding is a shame, and I would certainly want to support candidates who weren't in favor of defunding. But I was going to come here this year now, after many years of not being able to get here.
It would be a real bummer to show up to one and have it be closed, but can't live our lives worrying about the decisions of others, and so we're just going to catch all the ones that we can.
From Crater Lake, I'm Brinkley Hill.
All right, news from Crater Lake there. I really hope they don't close it. We talked earlier about the trail that I guess takes you down to the lake and how they were closing a certain section. We were questioning that. They were going to do some maintenance on the trail there, so it's going to be closed for the season, so no going down to the and it's the most popular trail. I forget what they call it. So yeah, what's going on? What's up? Y'all sounds fishy over there at Crater Lake. And it has been with the strange missing persons cases out of there and other things, other high strangeness. Mount what is it? Sal brought us information last time also. Mount Mazuma. Correct? Did I say that correct? The whole legend behind that, very interesting Native American legend there. And they say it was cursed. And the whole story there, you got to do a whole dive into the Crater Lake story and legend. And people, they believe it's cursed. Audio good now? Uh-oh. Was I sounding crummy there for a bit? Sorry. Yeah, I was mentioning some stuff. Yeah, I did have it muted there for a second, bro. Haha. But I'm watching you mute. I'm watching you. All right. Double checking there. Yeah, so it was on the list for us to hit Crater Lake, but things got switched up. We'll see where we end up this time around when we get out, if we get to get out, when we go out. But that one's always high on my list, and at a lot of times, you know, when I hook up with other people, I usually don't have the plan. Like, hey, we're gonna go here, we're gonna do it like this, like that. I leave that up to other people. I just go flow with the go, and I'm pretty easy like that. Especially also when it comes to stuff in the field, people want to try certain things and this and that, and I'm like, have at it. And I just put it out there if it's something I don't agree with, and something you know I don't I just put it out there in my mind and say, you know what, that this is not me, Sasquatch or whoever else. And if this is pissing you off, I apologize. It's those guys over there. So yeah, you know, I try to yeah, I'd rather beat drums or something than beat a tree or something like that. But yeah, people have their things, and we get, you know, I've heard experienced things happen after people try wood knocks and stuff. So it is a thing. I think there is something to it. But you know, nowadays it's like certain things that are trending, like let's say in Bigfoot. So like I've noticed right now, everyone's like, not everyone, but a lot of people are just against the wood knocking and you know whatever. I like I said, I don't mind it as long as you're not destroying a tree or something like that. But whatever, you know, you got your ways of doing things. I got mine. And again, I'm pretty open to that. So Hillbilly Herb, there he is. He got summoned. He heard it.
Hillbilly Herb to the office.
Were your ears ringing, bro? We were mentioning you earlier. We're taking a look at some weird lights on that island uh you went to. What is it? Orford Island? What's it called again? Anyway, we thought we noticed some strange lights, bro. So later on, maybe you could rewind a little bit and check out some of the footage we were sharing there. And they might pop up again tonight. Looks like something was starting to sparkle up there. And we shared the channel as well if you're interested in checking that out. But some high strangeness. Yeah, ever had something weird happen to you on that island there? On that particular resort or that property? Tell us more about it. Yeah. What do you have tonight, Hillbilly? What are you chiefing on? Tonight I got some of that Tropicana, which is super yummy. I wonder what Sal has. Sal's got to keep fire flavors. He's that type of guy. He's one of the heads, you know. I wonder what he's got going on. And then there's this other one that's I'm not sure what it is, but it's a really cushy, purpley. But you know, these days it's probably crossed with a bunch of other stuff, so who knows? But I really get a nice what is it? That purple cushy flavor, that velvety purple. How do you describe it? Texas Shoreline over here, a few others. I like to mix them all. Is that a strain? Not familiar with that one. That sounds good. I'd like to see what Texas got going on. Dipping into some grapefruit. Oh, there you go. Diesel needs some grapefruit. Pamplemousse. How do you say it in French? Grapefruit. I just learned that the other day. Pamplemousse. Pamplemousse. Parlez-vous français? I don't. Yeah, of course. Old school classic flavor there. Can't go wrong with that. And then I got some from like last season still, so that's always ripping and fun. It's this I mentioned it's a berry bonds, so it's this purple, like we're talking these purpley flavors. Yeah, berry bonds. It's supposed to taste like berries. Yeah, but it was actually grown near a citrus tree, so it got this real orangey, tangy flavor to it. I was like, "Whoa, that's weird." Super cool. So, been enjoying that. Let's see, Thin Mints, cookies, Shorts, DJ Short. Yeah, the DJ Shorts Blueberry. That's a classic one there. Old school there. Nice. And done by, that's always the best, Sal. Yeah. Yeah, right. And you know what? The diesel strain, I always give it up to the East Coast for putting that because it's the New York diesel, right? That's where that came from. The NY. I missed that. I have not seen diesel sour. Sour was in all the time. Like OG, it was like the counterpart to OG Kush, which is like SoCal. That OG Kush is like SoCal's flavor, and you know it's changed now, but it's always going to be a staple out here. And then like the counterpart was it was the New York Diesel, which I was like, wow, this came out of the East Coast. I've heard of some fire strains coming out of Florida too back in the day, and wonder what's cooking up these days. I seen Cookies put out this new, I guess I don't know if they're like pucks or something for your hookah, and I guess they're I don't know. I don't know what they're called. What is it? Ookies or something like that. And he premiered that. That's a Burner premiered that on his channel just the other day. And yeah, Burner, you know, Cookies. You love God Bud times OG. Woo. Yeah. Speaking of God Bud, reminds me of a verse recently. What song is it? It's off the new Aesop Rock album. I've been talking about that a whole lot. I've been bumping it a whole lot, and I'm glad some of you have been enjoying it. Thank you for the feedback. Even in Jessica's stream yesterday, Aesop came up because they were talking about AI musicians, and I was hearing about also Timbaland that's supposed to be coming out with like AI artists and AI music albums and stuff. I'm like, whoa, here we go. And then someone in the chat, I believe she was new to her chat, and I mentioned Aesop Rock. She's like, oh my God, someone else knows about Aesop Rock here. And Sovereign Cosmic Wildman was in there, and you know he's a hip hop head. Several other people were like, oh yeah, we all popped up. They're like, oh yeah, the heads are in the house. What's up? I'm like, yeah, peep it out. He got a new album out. So he was, what did he mention? Well, you mentioned the grapefruits in French. That's why I was saying the grapefruit in French. There's a verse with that. And then there was, let's see, someone said something here that reminded me. Oh, yeah, about the God Bud. There's a verse where he's like, that it smells like something holy put something up for their people. So meaning like something or someone holy was burning some amazing, you know, they're going to be, if you're holy, you're going to be burning some amazing stuff. And he goes like, pizza from that one spot, hello from the zenith. Yeah, super cool. I'm really breaking down the album and just enjoying the lyrics there. And we shared his website on one of the previous streams. Just look him up. And I was actually recommending the album to a few other customers earlier today. So hopefully they're checking that out and enjoying it. And let's see here. AXN, still no action out here, which is a good thing. You don't want a bunch of stuff happening and people having to go to calls. Although I see he's pulling up to a scene here, probably a car wreck. Seen a car wreck the other day on the way to work, too gnarly. Been seeing quite a bit of those. See them all the time out here. It's crazy. Let's see. Let's check out another camera right quick. Let's head up to, before we head out of here. Thank you for hanging out, y'all. Making our Friday exciting here. Let's do Lake Tahoe. This is a fun one. Let's see. Can you? Yeah, this isn't current. Come on. You're supposed to go live. Here we go. It's buffering. Let you check it out. So maybe we got to do this. Let's reload that link. Boom. Yeah, they're a little dark. Let's see. Check out this one. This one's pretty cool because they have what is it? Those things that the ski lift, and you could see it pass by when during the day. No one's there now, so no one's going to be using it. But yeah, this Heavenly Lake Tahoe site's got some really rad cams around Lake Tahoe. And they're up on the mountains with views of the lake. And I think it's possible for weird stuff to happen even in an area like this. It's a good lookout here. But I thought we were going to be able to pull up a radder. Let's see, let's go to Mount Shasta. Since we're talking about Shasta. Is this going to be dark on us too? Yep. That's going to be hella dark. All right. We'll pull up another one. Here we go. Maybe this one will. Uh-oh. I'm getting stuck over here. All good, all good. Let's retry that. So yeah, any plans for anyone this weekend? Let us know what's popping here. We'll do this one. This one will give us a time lapse of Mount Shasta. That it's nighttime and we should fade into daytime. Let's see, we're gonna get any day shot. There we go. So still snow up there. Sweet. Voila. All right. Well, we had a little fun tonight. Let's see what else. I got SpaceX. Or what was it? The rocket launch the other day. Yeah, Elon. To Elon again. Anyone catch this one, Sal?
Is this another Falcon 9 rocket launch? You got a question these days. Vandenberg Air Force Base.
Yeah, and we mentioned the one out of Texas after that launch. So that was here, Southern California, and then seeing Texas. Ooh, look! All of a sudden, got without even wanting to do it, it made the thumbs go up there. And it's can we celebrate a little more? Camera. All right. Gotta remember. How do we do? Yeah. I get stuck. I was trying to set off some fireworks. How do we do the fireworks? Maybe someone in the chat remembers. Before we head out, I'm trying to remember and make sure. I'm sure there's going to be something. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to be like, darn, I forgot to mention that and that and that. Checking our notes here again. Yeah. All right, everyone. Bless up. Sending love to everyone. Yeah, we could send that one. We could do. Send some love to everyone tonight. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be in touch. Don't forget, we're interested in your encounters. We're interested in speaking with you. So anyone want to chop it up? Diesel, let me know. Sal, we could come up, talk about succulents, talk about cacti. Let me know. Let's make it happen. All right, where's our outro? Senor Dwarf. Much love, everyone. See you mañana. God willing.